Shinjuku Terminal. This is a layout plan of Shinjuku Terminal, the world's most bustling hub for public transport. Spanning a kilometer across the Shinjuku area, it serves 3.6 million commuters every day who use it to navigate various regions of Tokyo. It has 5 primary levels, each housing one of 3 principal transportation options for people on the move. Shinjuku proudly hosts 3 interconnected subway lines that link it to neighboring districts such as Shibuya, Minato, and Toyota, all within a matter of minutes. Train passengers can choose from 5 separate rail corporations that arrive and depart concurrently from any of the terminal's 20 distinct platforms. If you're planning to cover significant distances, Shinjuku's impressive bus station offers 1,600 long-haul routes connecting travelers to Tokyo and the wider Japan area. It stands as a radiant symbol of Tokyo's admirable and progressive infrastructure design. What's even more astonishing is that this very structure is echoed across the megacity in various districts, all interconnected in an urban blueprint that is unparalleled and, frankly speaking, an architectural marvel. Tokyo is more than just a city, it's essentially a country within a city. With a population count reaching 37 million individuals, Tokyo stands as the world's largest megacity. If you take into account tourists and visitors from other regions of Japan, the numbers climb even higher. Tokyo outnumbers any other city worldwide by a population of 50 more individuals. Yet, in spite of its dense population and ceaseless activity, it is frequently recognized as one of the safest cities in terms of infrastructure. Urban developers have not only managed to ensure that the 3.9 billion annual users who rely on the subway system reach their desired destinations, but also that they and others have alternate travel options available in Tokyo on any given day. For instance, if you're walking, you'll find that each Tokyo district conveniently has everything you might need just a stone's throw away. If you're not near a supermarket, there's a multitude of vending machines at your service. Even cyclists, who account for 14% of the city's total transportation, have devised ways to cope with the admittedly flawed cycling infrastructure. Though walking is a practical and entirely feasible choice, 57% of journeys in Tokyo are made through public transport, which is comparable to New York City's 58%. However, that's where the similarities cease. Let's consider this 3D model of the Times Square 42 N Street subway station. While it's not on the same scale as Shinjuku, it's part of a public transportation network that is surprisingly larger than Tokyo's. Indeed, the New York City subway operates 34 lines and 468 stations, all serving 4 main areas: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx. But bigger doesn't always equate to better, and that's certainly true in this context. Despite its substantial size, New York City's subway ranks second to Tokyo in terms of annual passenger numbers. Tokyo's system, though significantly smaller, is substantially more efficient. This effectiveness has arisen out of necessity over time as an influx of people to the metropolis reduced available space. The adaptability and continual improvement of each transport system, coupled with the staggering annual budget of $200 billion for Japanese public construction from 2013 to 2023, which represents 40% of their entire GDP, by the way, have shaped Tokyo into a masterfully constructed city. However, it didn't attain this status overnight. Following the conclusion of World War II, Japan, like many other nations, had to reconstruct its infrastructure. However, the lack of access to oil reserves and costly automobile transport systems, which contributed to the auto industry boom in countries such as the United States, wasn't an option for Japan. Therefore, the Japanese government, partnering with private firms, poured investments into railway lines as an alternative, aiming to bridge Tokyo's outlying suburban areas with the city center. Couple this with the historically lower income levels of Japanese households, and it becomes clear why the demand for robust public transit soared. As a result, the private car as a mode of transport was largely overlooked. Remarkably, the average car ownership per household in Tokyo is just 0.56, a surprisingly low figure for a developed urban region. In contrast, a city like Chicago has a car ownership rate of 1.12 per household. The gamble on public transport turned out to be a successful strategy for Tokyo, as it's one of the rare instances where a system is both functional and profitable. You might be as surprised as I am. Terms like public transport and profit don't typically go hand in hand, but in Tokyo's scenario, they do. To realize this, Tokyo's urban planners, in conjunction with private contractors and the government, did everything possible to make the use of cars and taxis for city commuting as unappealing as they could. Take a look at Tokyo's traffic congestion. It's a nightmare that can essentially only be likened to the lengthy durations spent traversing Los Angeles's notorious traffic jams. However, Tokyo's situation is worse for one straightforward reason. Consider the Shuto Expressway in Greater Tokyo, where the twisting, intersecting routes might make you think of the U.S. interstate highways. If you're looking to cover larger distances, you'd need expressway passes that could set you back up to 14,000 yen or $120 for certain regions over a 1 to 2 week span. While this might seem outrageous, it actually bolsters public support for transit systems by making cars a far less competitive option compared to the subway, bus, or train. This is advantageous because public transport in Tokyo is undeniably a more practical choice than using a car within the city. Even if one wished to try commuting by car, they'd need ample spare time. Trains or subways will deliver you to your destination much quicker than a car due to their adherence to tight schedules, operating within a minute of their anticipated arrival or departure times. They're also considerably faster, moving at 1.5 times the speed of a car that's hampered by speed limits, traffic, and unpredictable obstructions on the road. Indeed, public transit is the preferred choice in Tokyo. With a Pasmo Card, passengers can traverse the city effortlessly. Before the 2000s, buying tickets from different rail and subway companies often led to massive queues. However, the introduction of the Pasmo Card and a unified railway system greatly enhanced Tokyo's infrastructure. While it may seem Tokyo's rail and subway systems are too technologically advanced to compare with cities like New York, the secret lies in simple common sense, connected systems, and diligent daily maintenance. Tokyo's train stations, including Shinjuku, remain vacant overnight, providing the ideal window for compulsory nightly inspections. Every aspect of the subway tunnels and tracks is inspected daily, with all repairs handled promptly. Furthermore, Tokyo implements a rigorous 4-yearly inspection, where each train car is manually disassembled and all parts tested for faults before being cleaned and reassembled. Lastly, Tokyo's Shinkansen, or bullet train, travels at speeds of up to 320 km per hour, making intercity travel swift and efficient. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Amtrak's Acela train, the fastest in the United States. It takes 7 hours to cover a similar distance of 713 kilometers from Boston to Washington. Overall, Tokyo is meticulously designed and seamlessly interconnected. While it may seem chaotic at times, to an observer, take the bustling crosswalks for instance, it's quite the contrary. Everything is meticulously planned down to the smallest detail, resulting in a harmonious operation. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.